Hello guys, welcome to the J&J podcast. Today we'll be talking about challenges and changes in the African American civil rights movement. To start off, let's discuss the different types of segregation in America. We have the de jure segregation and the de facto segregation. Jeremy, can you tell us what this means?
Based on the different regions of America, racism was more extreme in the South, which means they supported the de jure segregation, which is a segregation by law. For example, the Jim Crow laws. However, the North side, which supports de facto segregation, encourages the segregation that strengthens through the practice but not law. This means that it's common throughout society to encourage segregation and racism in the North side.
The de facto segregation was detrimental to African Americans because it affected the areas they lived, their healthcare, and the way that they were treated by other people. And many African Americans who migrated to the North were forced to live in the slums, were either poor, unemployed, and prejudiced in society.
Urban violence erupts in the North as a specific case of police brutality rose in New York. The case involves a 15-year-old student who was killed in an encounter with a white police officer. This caused a 6-day riot in Harlem, which involved the destruction of the streets of Watts, an African American neighborhood, resulting in the death of 34 people.
Wow, what happens next, Jaden?
In short, African Americans turned to violence because they had unequal opportunities in jobs, housing, and education. Civil rights were steadily increasing these opportunities, but they were not rising fast enough.
To fix the situation, Malcolm X urged followers to take complete control of their communities, livelihoods, and culture.
What did Malcolm X do to empower the African Americans?
Malcolm X was interested in the teachings of Islam during the time in prison, and he became an Islamic minister after he finished serving his full sentence. He uses his teachings to preach the teachings of Islam. According to Malcolm X's ideology, he believes that whites and blacks should be segregated for both groups to live in peace without any need for discrimination.
Soon, Malcolm X shared his idea of bullets or ballots after returning from preaching Islam in Mecca and Saudi Arabia. He advised African Americans to vote, but he warned the government if African Americans are limited in their right to vote, they will resort to violence.
A new slogan was popularized by the civil rights movement called Black Power. This is a statement for black people to lead their own organizations and goals for better rights.
How was the Black Panther movement formed?
The Black Panthers movement was formed after founders Huey Newton and Bobby Seale noticed an increase of police brutality around Oakland, California. The main focus of Black Panther Party is to fight police brutality in the ghetto. This also fought for better employment, better health care, and better housing. However, the movement fell apart in the 1980s.
Let's talk about MLK.
MLK approached advocating for civil rights differently than other civil rights movements. Instead of preaching violence like the Black Panthers, MLK believed that peaceful protest is a more effective way of spreading awareness for African American rights. MLK's assassination resulted in the worst urban riot in American history, with 100 cities burning in flames. King's assassination mainly marked a turning point in the fight for civil rights. Many civil rights movements, such as the Poor People's Movement and the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, struggled to maintain their integrity without MLK's leadership.
In 1968, the Kerner Commission was passed to study the causes of urban violence. The government finally found the problems to this problem, finally establishing basic rights for housing, employment, and getting rid of de facto segregation entirely.
Later, the Civil Rights Act of 1968 was passed by Congress in order to end discrimination for housing.
So, what did the civil rights movement accomplish?
The civil rights movement ended de jure segregation and increased the amount of African Americans graduating from high school and college. As a result, African Americans had better jobs and business opportunities. African Americans also had a greater pride in racial identity and became more accepted in society. Finally, the government began to promote affirmative action in the 1960s as a way to improve educational and economic opportunities for minorities. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, welcome to the J&J podcast, and today we have a special guest here today, Martin Luther King Jr.
Hi, it's an honor to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Martin Luther King Jr., when was the de jure segregation and de facto segregation laws created?
The de jure segregation and the de facto segregation laws were formed in 1968. It was a problem that enforced the idea of racial segregation in society.
When did Malcolm X share his bulletin ballots idea?
He shared his idea in 1964.
When was the Black Panthers movement created?
The Black Panther movement was created in 1966.
When was the Kerner Commission issued?
The commission was issued in 1968.
When was the slogan Black Power created?
1966.
Thank you. Would you like sharing any interesting facts about yourself, Martin?
Yes, although you may know me as my famous speech, I Have a Dream, I am also involved in being a leader in Southern Christian Leadership Conference and the Montgomery Improvement Association.
Martin Luther King, where did you go to school?
I skipped 2 years of school and I was admitted to Morehouse College in 1944. I graduated with my bachelor's degree in sociology at the age of 19.
How many times have you been arrested?
I have been arrested 29 times.
Any other interesting facts?
I participated in the Montgomery bus boycott in 1955, where we advocated for civil rights and segregation. We were successful through the works of Rosa Parks and the other supporters. Through the boycott of the public transportation system, we were able to find a nonviolent way to protest segregation. Shortly after, we were able to desegregate the public transportation system across America.
Very well, thank you for your time.
My pleasure. Before I leave, what's your name?
James Ray.
Thank you, Mr. Ray. Through the boycott. Oh shit, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. We can cut that part out. We were successful through the works of Rosa Parks and the other supporters. Through the boycotts of...
I'm sorry.
That's screw up.
Hmm? No, it's not bad. It's not bad. I just thought of something funny. Okay.
Let's try again. Thank you, Mr. Ray. Ow! 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 I hit myself.
Okay, I didn't even look the right way.
It's fine, bro. It's fine, we can just add the sound. Add the
Dude,
sound.
the thing is, I can do it, but I can't like help myself from laughing. It'd be so funny if we just cut the straight face and I just did this and you just fell.